Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Things happen. Tech issues and personal issues and whatever, but we're all good. We are here. I'm just going to quickly pop in this way. And we have ourselves a raid already. Wow. Okay, while we're doing that, I'm actually going to change up the title because we're not actually doing what it says we're doing. We need sand and...
Hello?
Sand chopping. There we go. And the go live is completely wrong too, but we're just going to go with that because we've already had a go live.
Hello there.
Come by for... There we go. Let's try changing one word just in case.
Hello.
There we go. All right. Good morning, Raiders. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello there.
Thank you ever so much for the raid. In spite of all the chaos of me being pokey this morning, I really strongly appreciate it.
Hello.
I think I've got everything set right. Okay. Oops, I can't spell. And then salmon chopping. Try this. Done. Alright. So, yeah, good morning, Raiders. Welcome on in. Thank you ever so much. Thank you very much to Yellow. I heard rumors that you were partly responsible. Thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate that so much. Good morning, Stormy. Hopefully your day is going half decently. And good morning to Mel, as well as Fantastic Sherlock Fox and Bob. What a crew. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, you can see today, this is good news. I am wearing diamond. I am wearing half decent diamond. So, yeah, this is what I did last night during Stormy's stream and DC's stream, was put myself back together. For those that had not heard, I was... Oops. Go back here. I was... this door. Nope. I'm still completely lost inside my trading hall. Love it. So I was working on digging the trench for putting these berries down, and unfortunately, aside from the fact that nothing goes in it really because they all die one block outside, I was putting the trench down, and on the front side, like 3 blocks from the door, creeper jumped in with me. I did not manage to jump out. So boom happened, and I thought, okay, well that's a little wise. I was like this for a second. So you can see there's a little tiny number 1 in the upper right corner of my screen. That little tiny number 1 is a marker for my very first death of the season. However, that's also a marker for stupidity. So I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it, like the fact that I think it's a dumb thing I did. But anyway, I, for some reason, had it in my head that when you're in a respawn screen, thing pauses, just like if you were on a logout mode. Don't know why. I don't know. Somehow my head had it that was the case. It's because I'm the only one in the world. There's no need for anything to progress because there's no mob to kill you or anything of that nature. But I was wrong, very, very wrong, and absolutely everything despawned that was in my inventory. To be honest with you, I don't even know what was in the inventory. I took the route where I decided, okay, well, I've got the iron farm working, and I had a few diamonds. I still have a few diamonds at the other building, so let's make a couple of pieces and see what we can get. So I had boots and... Oops, I didn't put them there. But I had boots and a hat. I can't remember where I put them. And none of these guys were properly leveled up. I think I had 2 or whatever that were taking iron. So, yeah, we've got those 2. And I actually bothered to level this guy to the point where he... first off, this one was my string guy, so 20 for an emerald. That helps. Second was that I got this one down to 14, so that was nice. But I also managed to get their bow trade, which was really in my favor, because I can't sniff at that one. That's not a problem. Plus, I had an infinity book from before I did the trading hall that I hadn't used, so we've got 2 of these combined with an infinity book, and I'm a happy camper. The only thing that's missing, I think I want power stronger, and I would like to also add flame to that, but otherwise we're actually better than we were. So we've got a diamond sword that worked out beautifully, and we've got a pick. It's looking pretty sweet. So yeah, those are the things. I mean, we've got a little bit of mending and breaking stuff. We're not quite back where we were, but we're doing good. And you can see I've actually got signs out here because, well, I stole them from the outside of the farm, but also that I've got most of these guys up to where I want them. But the kicker is, though, although I've got them up to where I want them, a lot of them, the trade isn't actually unlocked. It's there. I can see it because I've used Bedrock tweaks, but it's not actually unlocked yet. So it just kept me from firing the individual and trying somebody else, because I was starting to get really frustrated. This guy here, he's still under work, in progress, because I'm hoping to get a Depth Strider 3 that was not like 60 books, or sorry, 60 emeralds, because as you can imagine, even with the iron, that is something that's difficult to afford. So yeah, that's where we're at. Because that would be logical. Yeah, of course. Thank you very much for the gift, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I really do appreciate it. So the fight is coming to an end for those of you that are a part of it, and it still appears rigged because Fantastic Sherlock Fox came out again with the donut. So in a few minutes we'll run another one of those just because he has donuts, yes. It has also occurred to me that at some point I need to make a chicken cooker or an egg collector in Bedrock, because I forgot about the egg predictions thing. But anyways, the idea behind the berries was not because I needed berries. I actually don't. But as you can see, we've got a track running under here, and I may have to double the track, I think, to make it another block outwards. But the idea was it's supposed to grab a lot of the random junk that comes out. Donuts come in packs. Okay, so what my plan is for today, actually, I'm just going to see what we've got for emeralds. I'm not going to go fighting for more if we don't have any. No, one shovel. Okay, 41 will do. And one shovel should do it, but I wouldn't mind a couple others. So, dude, give me your shovel. What do we got? Efficiency 3. You might be the winner. Let's see what we got over here. No shovel at all. Okay, well, you lose. There, I've got one spare shovel. That'll do. What we're looking for today, I want to actually convert out all of the top part from here straight up to the farm above into glass. At the moment... Oops, I just dumped things. At the moment we have a good amount of... I can't even talk straight. We have trapdoors on the outside, and so I think that's useful, but not quite enough. Let's keep those. I'm not going to end up with as much sand as I would like if I just keep taking things with me, but I think it's necessary. Alright. Oops, do I have... I had far too many hoppers. Oh, right. Duh. I was gonna say, I had far too many hoppers, now I can't find them. Well, of course I can't find them. They were one of the things I let go. So, yeah. Oops. Alright. I also had a minor discovery while I was running back and forth last night, trying to get things a little bit more back in shape after getting blown up. Yep, they did. Every one of them. See, Tom knows all. He's just wise enough not to tell all. That sounds like a book. So yeah, they died. They're gone. So, anyways, where I was going to go with that was... So we'll put another round, and I was trying to remember what else I wanted the hoppers for. There was something that made sense, and now I can't recall. Anyways, while I was... Oh, I know what I wanted them for. Anyway, while I was digging around in the box on the other side, with the storage on this side, I discovered that the fact that I tossed the dark oak sapling yesterday, as disappointing as it was, turns out it wasn't as critical as I thought. I had been looking around in the boxes over and over and over and just not seeing the fact that I had 6. dark oak saplings. So, I mean, it's not the 8 that'll get me 2 full trees in case something goes wrong, but 6 will do. Let's see. Do I want to risk taking a horse? I'm gonna go with no, simply because that horse doesn't stay put very well. Most of them don't, but this one really takes off. So that means I'd need to waste 2 more slots on a fence post and a lead. And as it is, it's not great. Now I know I could make a chest boat, but I don't have... Oh, we'll throw that out as we go. I know I could make a chest boat, but I can't actually take the sand or the boat all the way to the sand that I was headed to. I know there's a bit of a desert out this way, which is why I'm headed that way. We could go visit the deserty islands that we saw yesterday. I'd still have to go across the land for part of it. So, yeah, what I'm looking for is the sand. Once or 50 times? Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the thing about it is, one of the things this world was for learning. That was not something that I originally intended to have on my learning plan, because it's not very Minecraft, but it was for learning. So, we learned. By the way, there's no tech glitch regarding the face cam, in case you guys were not aware. Suffice to say that I'm not comfortable with my face cam at the moment. Nothing technically wrong with it. It's just that my parents, or my mum, didn't really mind a whole lot, but my dad was an acne popper kind of guy. That's gross and disgusting. But he was one of those guys that really hated them. It wasn't just simply, no, go wash your face, go use a product. Fine, I could handle that. Well, I don't know. I should have been... Oh. There was a desert out this way, I swear. Oh yeah, we've been to that temple. Okay. We're in the right direction. Just... Anyway, so where that goes is... He was actually disgusting enough to, when I was growing up, if I didn't deal with a particular pimple, he goes, let me pop that for you. Seriously, I wish I was kidding. The resulting effect is it gave me some sort of, I don't know what you call it, neuroses or habit or whatever. So when I got a small one on a cheek or something like that, or under my chin, it drives me nuts. And I can't leave it alone. Resulting effect is that I have a minor injury that I'm trying to get to heal, but I do not want to show it on Facecam, and I'm not one for makeup. For 2 reasons. I mean, one, it's usually non-comedogenic and causes more problems than it's worth in that respect, and 2, I'm just terrible at it and don't like makeup anyway. It tends to look worse than not wearing it. So yeah, that's the story. There will not be a Facecam for a little while until that issue has resolved itself. So yeah. Exactly, and no issue there, but it was just more, I really wanted to just let people know that who normally know I have a face cam, that wasn't like I've had any sort of, face cam backlash or something like that. There have been a few streamers I've talked to recently that have, and it's just really, really sad. Or there's people who come into another person's stream if you don't have a face cam and keep telling you need one. It's like, go take a hike, people. So there's parrots. That's cool. Strangely enough, I don't find parrots serve much purpose rather than to be annoying to the player. I will probably collect parrots at some point, but not now. I've got a plan for... I've looked at a few schematics, and although I'm not familiar with using Schematica and armor stands... Oh geez, where am I going? There. Okay, finally. Sorry. Although I'm not familiar with using them, I will probably at least play with it in Java, and then worst case scenario, I could peel it down and do it layer by layer in Bedrock. I've done that sort of thing before, followed plans that way. It's really slow to do. I mean, the statues I built last year, I wish I had known about using, well, not known about, but like known, I felt comfortable to use Lightmatica in Java last year at the time I did the Egyptian statues by Tridar, because they took way too long for a weekend stream. So it could have been a lot faster had I used schematics, but Bedrock, I don't know how to do that. Anyways, the plan with that is going to be doing a jungle and mangrove heavy with some cherry thrown in, sorry. Schematic version of a woodland mansion. It's just based on one of the default woodland mansions. There we go, let's go over this way. You have the packs or mods installed for both Bedrock and Java, but I messed them up with both ends, export and import. Yeah. I may have to get people like Stormy or CJ involved. I know Stormy's used them, so the using angle is one that she'd be really good to help with. And I could also ask CJ, because he's helped her out a lot with this sort of thing. So that's something I could do. One of the things I want to do first in the off-camera part of it is to set it, like just paste it out in DevWorld, because of course easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then simply figure out what I want each of the rooms to do and sort of make myself a map. And the reason for that is that then I know what modifications I need to make along the way. Okay, I'm going to be very, very lost, but I'm going to go up there and just carve down. That makes it sound like it's important and like I have shulkers or something, but we'll get there, we'll get there. Maybe not. Okay, it's a little more vertical than I expected. Hello, bunny buddy, why are you chasing me? Alright. I want sand. Actually, let's just go straight up. There we go. I don't know why, but I always seem to want to peel down from the top. But yeah, anyways, that's the plan, is to build a woodland mansion as the major base building. So that will take some time to do. It's not a castle. It's not as awesome as some of the castles you've seen around. But hey, it does the job. That's the big key. It does the job. It allows me to compartmentalize some of the other things that I'm doing this season. And I may even end up with like different rooms for different storage themes. There's that possibility as well. Or I may end up with a smelter room, or like there's a million different things that could happen. Oh. Maybe climbing up was not such a smart move. I just have to remember not to head out from underneath my feet. Now, while this is an unenchanted, or unextra enchanted shovel, we've got an efficiency 3. And while we have that, at least I'm not doing the last season starteroo, where I insisted on using up all the shovels and picks that I had used, or that I had gained from leveling up the villagers, because that was really slow. Really, really, really slow. Alright. One of the other reasons I admit to myself that I like peeling off layer by layer, rather than just going ham on a lot of sections, is that then when it comes nightfall, I'm on the top of things, so I can see what's coming to get me. It's a little bit of a chicken move, but it works. Besides, the view is nice. Okay, did bring a clock. Let's put out the bed. You said you messed them up on both ends, Tom. What sort of hiccups have you had with them? I'm just curious because while it's not idiot simple, as in entirely Delenn proof, being able to use Litematica in Java seems relatively straightforward in a functional way. I mean, not all the pieces are intuitive, but of what there is, once you get the hang of it, it feels fairly straightforward. I don't know a whole ton about it, but I can build a structure, copy a structure, turning it into Litematica, move it around, you know, that sort of thing. Copy paste it up and down, like a lot of the basic stuff. I'm still really rough when it comes to changing what types of blocks are in things, so that's another reason why I want to mess with this a little bit. But generally the basic usage part is something that I've got a handle on. So now I'm feeling lost when I want to do a big build without it. Just because it's something that's been already built before, not a fully creative thing. I said I wanted to get used to doing things I had not done before. It didn't necessarily mean I wanted to build something from scratch. Maybe someday there'll be a creative world from scratch, maybe it'll be this world farther in, but it's just not yet. Hello, rabbits. You're just like tempting me to hit you guys. Alright, let's run around and get some of this. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, let's not run over a cliff. Alright. So I'm going to be using this for the glass on the, most of the glass on the villager trading hall section of the iron farm. And if we get, once we get back, we'll build a, excuse me, a very minor, furnace setup. So just a pair of them, because I don't have a whole ton of lava just yet. That's another pokey piece, is the lava farm. We may actually stick away from the trading hall for a little bit, even though that part of AFK might be nice. You just don't yet have everything, you know, sorted out to be in one area. We're still split between the two areas. As with the trading hall design, or sorry, the trading hall, the Woodland Mansion design idea is eventually I'm going to try and move as much as I can back into the unit, potentially accepting the exception of the iron farm. We'll see, because I haven't yet figured out where I would put that in such a way that it wouldn't cause problems. It would have to pardon me, it would have to be on the roof, or not on the roof, but have access to the roof for everything to work. So that's, you know, another one of those design changes that would be interesting. I've got thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, and of course, as plenty of people talk about, there's never enough time to do everything you want to do. I know it sounds funny when people are looking at, you know, not resetting the Dadcraft servers for approximately a year, possibly more, but it still feels like there's never enough time for both. So this one I'm making some progress that looks like something, so I'm going to stick with it for a little bit. And yes, for those that wanted to see more Java in the micro survey I did on my Discord, there will be a return to Java. I'm going to try and make it once a week, but we'll just have to see how things go. So we've got a Geek Out game going. Our topic is TV shows, and we're wondering how many. We're looking for at least 2 to switch out the question. But how many TV shows can people remember and or have watched syndicated from the 1950s? This one's quite up my alley, so I'm going to try and refrain as long as I can. But yeah, definitely 1950s television shows. Syndicated television was one of those things I quite enjoyed a lot growing up. with my family. Thankfully, my dad was into it, particularly comedy, so we watched a good bit. I believe so. It was the tail end of the 50s. My mom says she doesn't remember much of it, and she was actually born mid-50s, so yeah. I mean, she's aware of it because of the syndication part, but she said she didn't see it the first time around. That's some of the stuff that we watched was because my dad, who is eight and a half years older than my mother, so you know, when you talk about like kids shows, then as usual, it's always the one that grew up in the decade earlier. I mean, like, for example, you know, one could technically say I'm an 80s kid, but of course, as with all things, you're not really cognizant of the world, I guess, in a big way, until you get to be towards your teen years, in which case that makes me a 90s kid.
Hello?
Hey, Tiz! Wasn't there a TV show, Lucille Ball? Oh, yeah. Lucy and Desi was a thing. The I Love Lucy program was the 50s, for sure. For sure. And it's interesting because the way they played those characters on the show, that they fought a lot. The two Lucy and Desi fought a lot on the show. And yet, not only were they husband and wife in real life, they also, for many, many, many years, had a production company in the television industry called Desilu Studios, where they were producing other programs. I wish I could think of one or two of the more famous names of it, but yeah. Yeah, I Dream Genie was the 60s, for sure. That was... Most of the colorized stuff is the 60s, so you're going to get, I think the tail end of the, mid to tail end of the 50s, you've got, like the Andy Griffith Show. So a lot of that type of wholesome stuff. It's hard to recall. I think might have been very early 60s that we had Lassie, but it could also be 50s. It was sort of set right in that window and time era. And although it was modern, it wasn't necessarily modern. Here's the tough part about some of these older shows is not just the setting. I mean, sometimes for our modern shows, it's a little bit clearer when we have it set in a different era. But for some of the older ones, it's also important to note that city versus country. And what I mean by that is more urban versus rural. In general, when you think about how history has progressed for various different things, in terms of like technology reaching various areas, it's always the rural is behind the urban. So the result being then that some of the shows that might have been 60s, if they were set in a rural setting, it may look 50s. So it's difficult to get that one nailed down. There was Flash Gordon serial for the 50s that used to get aired in school holidays. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to assume, Bob, for your sake and probably the reality, that that was re-aired as a syndication sort of thing. Then when you say holidays, often that was another item, was when we started getting multiple channels, a lot of the old television would often come back as inexpensive fodder for the television networks to re-air. Okay, we are just about done, actually. So if I may not even be able to use up this shovel before we head out. Yep, for sure. For sure, Hogan's Heroes was certainly one of those. I mean, we've even got some classic older stuff. For example, we've got, like, what do you call it? There was the things like the Sid Caesar Comedy Hour, and the early days of the stuff with Dick Van Dyke prior to the Dick Van Dyke Show. So I think that might have been some of the Sid Caesar stuff. Your Show of Shows and so on. So a lot of the variety material. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that's another thing about it is foreign television. And I don't mean foreign language. Fantastic Fox hits it on the head. it takes time for English language programming to make it to foreign locations. So that's one of the things that people still talk about is, you know, for example, let's say it's faster now than it used to be, but even getting the rights, I know it sounds weird, but getting the rights for the forces to be able to share and broadcast some of the television or movies that are out now still takes months. Even if it's not older stuff, it still takes months. So when we were all excited talking about the indie movie and everybody's all excited, indie this, indie that, unless there's been a special deal made with one of the movie distributors who already had the rights to air it or whatever, you can bet the deployed forces right now will not have seen it. They may not even see it before it completely and utterly leaves theaters out here. Just the way the system works, unfortunately. I had to laugh because one of the reasons my parents, early on, one of the reasons my parents, I shouldn't say got along, but had things in common in the media space was, I mean, music is one of those ones that filters out quite easily to rural areas. My dad was a city guy. My mom was a small town prairie person, prairie gal. So one of the reasons this 8.5-year gap worked was actually because, although he was 8.5 years older, I guess it's kind of the wrong direction now that I think about it. But one of the reasons that worked was some of the stuff that my mom was into, for her, town was sort of cutting edge. And for him, it was just comfortably normal. Okay, so we're full, which means we need to head back. Now, making sure I'm not going to get completely lost, we need to go to... It says 1756-59. Let's see. Okay, so we got to go this way and that way. So we're over there. I know we didn't cross the water much, so I got to go this way first, just so that I can get to the land bridge. Here's a funny one, actually, that a lot of people don't believe me. And it sounds silly. My dad was very much into movies and television in terms of like making Super 8 films and oh shoot, sorry, I went the wrong way. But into making Super 8 films and stuff, so we had a fairly early VCR, and thankfully it was the VCR. Oh, it's like, how do you manage to survive, bud? It's because you took out the llamas. Okay. Anyway, so he was into making those sorts of things, and so we had a fairly early one of these series. We didn't do Betamax, thank heavens, but we did do VHS right from its early days, which means I had one where you had the physical buttons on it, like you would have with a cassette deck. So they actually were lever type things. It wasn't a press button sort of thing. It was actually literally a lever that did other things. And then he would record television shows when we could get the tapes. And he, and at that point, your record button was sort of a click in, click out type of thing on the end of a really long wire. I mean, we're talking like you sit in front of your television with your VCR and you had like an 8-foot wire, and on the end it was a single button. It's like all those, you know, you press the button to blow up the whatever it is. No, this was just a record button. So he used to sit for hours and hours and record things. And then he hand cataloged the stuff he recorded. Because, I mean, he recorded mostly magic shows. that were on television, you know, the 1980s and 90s television specials, though thankfully by then we had better VCR, but yeah. So he recorded a lot of that, and that's what he had filmed. Was not the ones on television, but had filmed magicians doing stuff. So in any case, he then went and hand-cataloged it all. So if I wanted to watch a magic special, which, as Fantastic Shock Fox knows, I got really used to doing and quite like, itchy, then he had a hand-done catalog. I kid you not, it was a paper template that he'd gone in like X-Acto knife little holes in. So then he could trace out the squares, or the rectangles, and then early on it was hand writing it in, because he didn't think he could line things up properly, and then it wasn't too long after that he actually would just trace all the squares and then line it up in his typewriter and hand type it. So we actually had a catalog in our house and in a duotang of a lot of the stuff that he'd recorded on television. So, yeah. It was weird. It was weird. So anyway, the resulting effect was we ended up with 2 televisions in the house because one of them was very much in use very frequently. Did I? Oh yes. Okay, I'm in the right spot. I just went a little too far over because that's the jungle temple. Just right there. So anyway, long story made short on that one, we had 2 of them in the house. One was a color TV in the basement, and then another one was a black and white TV in our kitchen, which makes us sound rich, but we weren't. It's just that my parents valued experiences over stuff. And we had 2 televisions simply because the experience of watching what my parents quote-unquote knew/felt was going to be majorly classic and not just rerun garbage was pretty high on their list, except we did watch a whole lot of what became WWE wrestling and bodybuilding stuff. So yeah, the bit about garbage kind of was lost on my dad at some point. In any case, so I remember having to get up and go change the channel. I also remember how frustrating when we first got a cable box would be when it turned out the television itself was not sitting on the correct physical channel to have the cable box feed a digital channel into it. So yeah. That's okay. Hey Springer Shadow, how are you doing? Yeah, it was kind of good/sad, I guess. Yay, I didn't get quite as lost as I usually do. Woohoo! Yesterday was a big bit of fail when it comes to getting lost. Alright, so just noticed that the Geek Out has changed. We're talking about 4 celebrities who use a full middle name, not just an initial, but a full middle name. And I think for the most part, those are the ones I'm going to guess where it starts coming out sounding like they probably have a hyphenated last name, just the way we pronounce it. But yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So for example, I have sat through recordings of the entirety of the all 7, I kid you not, of Arnold Schwarzenegger's winning, what do you call them, Mr. Olympia contests when he was a bodybuilder. Yeah. So the guy who played the Incredible Hulk in the 80s, I've seen him in recorded bodybuilding competitions. Like, it's... Yeah. There was some good stuff when we talked magic. There was some trash when we talked, you know, lunchtime being World Wrestling Federation and bodybuilding competitions. And yet he could never name any of the people in them. Like, I mean, bodybuilding maybe, but not in the wrestling stuff. And yet he insisted on watching it every time. I don't get it. Makes no sense. Springer Shadow says, I've been running around the nether chasing blue pigeons. Little mischief monkeys. Killed me and stole my diamond armor. Oh! Are we talking blue piglins? Piglins. That's rough. Frustrating when they take your armor, so it makes them that much harder to get it back from. Exactly. Exactly. Took me a second to figure out why they were blue, but yeah, if they're running around with your armor on, of course they're going to be blue. Okay, what I'm looking for is this, and I'm going to take this one. We'll make a second one of these later, but I'm just stealing parts for now. What do we need? Nope. No surprise. I do not have... Of course. I do not have any armor, or iron. And I need to make some chests. Since I need to go get hoppers anyways, then I'm going to come back here. But I'm going to go grab some iron, and might as well grab the planks out of this other place anyway. Oh good, well at least you've got a decent bow. Now, that begs the question, the age-old question, are you an infinity bow person or a mending bow person? I'm Camp Infinity, but that's just because I run myself out of arrows really, really easily. I've got a Fletcher, he does not trade arrows, but that's good because I decided to be an Infinity person first. Ah, okay. Yeah, when you can get Infinity, you will. That makes sense. The other thing is, I'm not sure what it is, but mostly my mouse works. Like 99% of the time it seems to be functional, unless it's something I've done. But, yeah, this is why I didn't want to go get more from the other side. Anyway, mostly things work. But sometimes I've got a spot where my mouse will just go a little bit haywire, and 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, I need 12. There we go. But I've got times where my mouse will go just a little tiny bit haywire and shoot off multiple arrows, which, as you can imagine, when it does that, is less than optimal. Therefore, it doesn't end up being a good scene, I guess. That's probably the best way of putting it. 2, 4, 6, okay. You can hear the noisy boys upstairs, which I'm really glad about. Means I can get a little bit more done. Maybe I should leave some wood here just in case. Yeah. That'll do. Okay. Nothing exciting there. Let's make sure I got that. I'm going to take some iron with me going the other way. Make sure I've got a stack. You can build up more on this end, so let's leave it. Bows unbreak. Let's see. What do we got? We've got an... Oh, that's not what I want. I want this one. Okay, so Springer Shadow says their bows Unbreaking 3, Flame 1, Power 4, Punch 2, Mending. Ah, so you've got a Mending bow at the moment. Cool. I've got Unbreaking 3, Power 3, Punch 2, so we're in the same vein. And then instead of Mending, I've got Infinity. And I'm only missing the Flame. I've got a Flame guy over here somewhere, but it's not quite unlocked yet. The same way that I don't have looting on my sword yet, even though I've got a looting Flame guy. It's just that looting is down here, and Flame's down there, which I'm seeing because of a Bedrock tweak. So Flame, looting. You still have to be unlocked yet, and I was just too cheap to spend the emeralds I had at the time on more bookshelves. So, yeah. I'm also starting... Oh, stop it. I'm also starting to wonder if I should have moved the bamboo farm, because depending where I stand, this may be a little too far away. We'll see. but it's getting some once in a while. Alright. I don't mind smelting over here, even though it seems like it's ridiculously far away from the action. It's, A, not noisy, and B, it's where the saplings are, so while the glass is cooking up, then we can cut down some trees. Well, if you're willing to tackle an ancient city, more power to you. They scare me, droppingless. Yes. Sorry, I couldn't think of anything at the time. That just sounds really, really odd. They scare me a lot. Okay, so I need... Got the hoppers. What do I want? I want these. And I'm going to take those. And I'm just going to set up... Oops, let's not put that in my hand. That's trouble. I'm just going to set up over here. I think it's probably easiest. Do I have... Nope. Excellent. But now that I've got 5, I can actually set up another cauldron. And we know what happened the last time. Okay, well, let's get this cauldron going because we're going to need it. What I mean by what happened the last time, I tried to get myself burnt. So, yeah. Let's hope I can do a little better this time around. Right, so this one's going to have to turn, which means I'm going to get fricasseed. And that to move. Oh, whoops, I forgot the stairs. That's important. Stairs, where did I put the stairs? No. There we go. It's also a bad habit of mine that now that we've got writable signs, I still haven't bothered putting signs on things. Or rewritable, I should say. So you can go and edit the sign, and you can do all sorts of stuff, but no. Did I put a sign up? No. Do I know where everything is? Still no. Okay. So this one's got to go here. That one can go there. This is where I want 2 hands, right? Ah, that will work. Okay. Okay, so I take out this one. I'm gonna regret this really quickly. Oh, maybe not. Lucky! Last time I had the lava just pour out and go all over the floor, and yeah, that was not a pretty scene. Okay. Not a hopper. I want a lava bucket. There we go. Twice as much chance for chaos. So if I need more, then I'm going to put them in this corner and this corner. More because I can rather than I should. If I end up with enough more, then I'll just grow some more stuff around here. Because we're definitely going to need more, but it works. Good question, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I don't know if they're difficult to locate. I would say maybe 2 boxing films. Okay, what type of boxing are we talking about, I wonder? Creed and Rocky, exactly. And then there's also Bloodsport. That's the other one I was thinking of. Okay, so we've got that. Let's get the other piece going. Kickboxer too. Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess if you want to be picky, so Creed and Rocky are on one side of the field, then we've got Kickboxer and Bloodsport on the other side. Look under mountains. There's a good chance of an ancient city. Cool. In a way, it's kind of like, or it sounds a little bit more like you're looking for, oh, never mind. I guess I'll have to drop that thought because it doesn't work when you can't understand what you're saying. What's this? Okay. Shouldn't move things around because then I forget where I put them. That one. I need this. Not there. I need it out here. So I was just trying to think of Atlantis at the time. It's like, you bet you make it sound a little bit like you're looking for the mountain equivalency of Atlantis. On the other hand, needle in a haystack. They are definitely not easy. Yes, I would agree with that assessment. Needle in a haystack. And worse if you're allergic to the hay. This one. Now we've got that. Oh. There. I don't want that direction. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we've only got one bucket of lava at the moment, which means that I cannot do the upper section at the moment, but I can start the sand in the other side. Don't know if we're far enough away from the iron farm not to break things, so I'm not going to leave this here. Just once it's daytime, I'll go set my spawn elsewhere. There we go. It should be easy as pie to actually do the math on where the iron farm is. I just keep forgetting to write down where the center of the other part is. So I'm just going to take a little detour. One of the next pieces I need to get out of that farm is, there we go, is I need to turn this axe into a silk touch because I'm ready to use, pardon me, I'm ready to use some more of these melons on the villagers, but I can only collect the pumpkins at this point because the other ones break up. Alright, so I need to put lava in the bottom. And let's go see what we can get. Oops, where did I put this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all you can handle it that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Speed that one up. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start getting glass slowly. And lava does about 100 items, but there's definitely more than 100 there. So it'll be a race to see if we can actually get enough lava to actually do anything. Kind of like this effect, actually, because it's going to give a little bit of light unintentionally. So that's neat, I guess. So here's the big thing. In Java, I just can't get these to grow. But my problem in Java, oops, let's go down, stay, is I don't have full blocks like this. I actually had done waterlogged half slabs. So an upper half slab, and then waterlogged it, and I think I need to change that up in the Java side. So we'll have to see. My next test is to put, take out the slabs and just put a trap door over top. Because it was actually just hiding the water in between like a floor and a ceiling. So sort of a bonus usage of a space. I really don't even need the product at all. But it's more of the challenge to see if I can do it. Alright, so now that we're here, and it's off doing its thing, then next up we need some more wood chopping. First off, let's dump what I can. Smut. I'm running lower on planks with oak, so that means I can move the dark down here, clean up that row. This is all oak stuff, and then we have odds and ends. Okay, cherry. Move. This is semi-precious stuff, so let's leave it down here. Not too worried about the Mondo height oaks, so the fact that I have 4 blocks and a torch is not relevant. Oh, haha, and my collection of scaffolding got blown up. Woohoo! Okay. Minor problem there. I guess I will have to go and see if I have string and whatchamacallit. Yes, the stuff. Okay, and I do have dark oak saplings, so we're going to do some dark oak, but the big one everybody needs more mangrove because I need red for the build. Got the cherry so I could grow some more of those, and I don't have any jungle, but that's, as you guys can see, that's not a problem. So I'm going for a red theme, and the only thing I don't have yet is crimson from the nether, and that's just because our nether portal showed up nice and low. It's at 44, but it showed up inside other netherrack in such a way that there's really not much there, and it almost looks like a pre-nether update type of generation, is where I happen to show up. So, less than optimal, as you can imagine. Aha, plenty of bamboo. Let's go see if I have any string. A little bit, that'll do. Let's make some scaffolding. I like the scaffolding because it's easy when I'm doing trees. Easy to go up, I can get off of the stuff and then chop the tree down, and then not have to worry about having to climb back up to get the pile. That's more than I need. What I'm going to do with it is... How many do I have over here? 5, yeah, that'll do. Let's take them over... Oh, nope, that won't do. I only get 16 sticks out of that. Shoot. Oh well. Any sticks I left here? Nope. Alrighty. Scaffolding, and then we go back and we reach up. Actually, let me just take one quick check because it's going to bug me if I don't look. Okay, those are picks. Oh, axes. Okay. Now this is not because I want to use them all that much, but we'll see how fast the tree is chopping. Some trees, it's worth using the iron ones. Other trees, it's totally not. So we'll just see how things go. I really should take another run and take a bunch of this stuff down to the smelting unit at the other end, but I think I'm going to hold off till either A, I run out of space here, or B, I've got enough lava going at the other end, because that's just a bit of a waste for nuggets at this point in time. I'm just going to trade them off anyways. Alright, yeah, from looking for ancient cities though, I definitely give kudos to anybody who wants to. I find the Warden very, very scary. The architecture in the ancient city is really nice. I like it. The light level is a little frustrating, but it's not like it's that one can't get around it. There are ways. Bedrock less so, but still, you know, potions and all that. But the Warden themselves, not something I'm particularly looking forward to. Okay, what should we grow first? Let's see. So there's... I could use more cherry. I could always use more mangrove. I know there was more mangrove the other side. Not mangrove, sorry. I know there's jungle on the other side, and I know I left a bit of mangrove at the farm, iron farm. Something fun to grow. Let's start with cherry and see how that goes. And please tell me I didn't leave all... If I had a face cam turned on, you would have seen me sigh because I just left the vast majority of the bone blocks at the other side. That's okay. We shall get there. And I mean, I can also make some... I could use some wheat, so I could also harvest the seeds. And here's one I didn't really notice, or know till recently. The amount of... Sorry, in English. The amount of bone meal... Not bone meal, sorry, what's the word? Food points, I guess you could say. That... Oops, excuse me. The amount of food points that different items give villagers and how much it costs to breed them is something I learned just recently. It's not a super exciting value per se, but come on, cherry, grow. Thank you. Oh, hello. All right. So apparently, I'd always thought, you know, carrots are more effective than wheat, or sorry, than bread, and they are, and they aren't. And that sounds odd to say, but in my opinion, I actually think bread's more effective. And the reason,
hello there.
You have to create it from the wheat, so it's a little bit counterproductive. But once you've got bread from whatever oh, hey Max, good afternoon. How are you doing today? I was just going on about the fact that like while I go and cut. Actually, I think I have. Let me see if I have a hoe over here. If not, you can throw one together. It's not a big deal. Nope, of course not. Of course I don't have a hoe. That would be... No, makes sense. There we go. I do not have... Are you kidding me? Fine. This... Oh, it's Silk Touch. Even better. Okay, well, I guess we don't have a hoe. That's fine. We'll go with it. Or without it, I guess. Where was I going with that? I can't remember what I was doing. That's okay. Oh, yes. So I was cutting down trees and stuff and ranting about food pricing. Hey, Big Hairy GM, good to see you. It's a day. Ooh. Hopefully lunch was good and tasty and all those things. That sounds a little more positive. There we go. Aha! See? Got my sapling back already. The return on saplings on these are always weird. So, what I was going to say about that is that, I tended to not like it making wheat into bread. On the other hand, once I've got bread, it feels like, to me, I'm getting a better value for item. So, for example, I don't have, my carrot patch over here is not currently a full 80 pieces. I know you're 9 by 9 minus 1. But yet, I think it's only a 48 or something like that. So to give a stack of carrots to some villagers to try and get more baby villagers just doesn't seem useful. So I looked it up, and it appears... Yeah, what I was actually looking for here was trying to find the top so that I could fall through, apparently. Which might be... Actually, you know what? This is a stupid idea. Because I'm going to be dead if I do it that way. So what I'm going to do is go down here. take these out and actually come up from the bottom. That's probably a smarter move. Anyway, so where I was going with this was to say, so I found out supposedly that what your goal is to get a baby, or to make, is you need two things. One, you need your villager to be willing, and two, you need enough points for the villagers to actually have a baby. And strangely enough, it takes about 24 food points for them to be willing, not willing, sorry, for them to have a baby. I've heard some sites say 25, but you know, it is what it is. So some say 25, but anyways, but yet if you give them a carrot, it's 1 food point. Whereas if you give them a loaf of bread, it's supposed to be like 3 food points per loaf of bread. So in that case, then I'm looking at, okay, well, it takes to get a villager interested, they only need 12 points, right? So that where you get 12 and 12, they're interested, and they pop together, and they get a baby, because there's your 24 points. Which, if I do the math on that, that means I need an awful lot more carrots to get a baby than I would pieces of wheat, because even if it takes 3, it only takes math here. 3 and 4 is 12, so it only take. It was 4 loaf? Is it 4 points a loaf? I can't remember. I think it's 4 points a loaf. Might be. Anyways, the point is, where I'm going with that is that I think it's cheaper when you do it with the bread. It's a bigger pain in the butt in terms of time, you know, to grow it and make it into bread and yada yada yada. Or if you get another villager who's throwing bread and, you know, all that jazz. So there's pros and cons either way, because of course carrots, you just grow them, you fortune them, and off you go. And if I fortune them, I'm going to get more than the generic 48 I talked about. I am aware of that. Yeah, if they have them, they give them to other villagers, exactly. But so what's kind of neat though is, I guess I enjoy watching because it's not even as exciting as The Sims for the hanky-panky side of it with the villagers. Just a nice little cloud of pretty hearts, and then pop, here comes a cute little sparkly, well, semi-cute little sparkly bald-headed mini villager. And I'm really glad they did not pick gray because for the standard villager outfits in some of these biomes, because there would be so many Austin Powers jokes. It's not funny. So in any case, so I actually like standing there, and it's sort of fun to you can have 1, 2, 3. Then I'll turn around and give you 1, 2, 3, and aw, how much fun! You know, that sort of silly stuff. So it feels like it's a little bit more, for me, fun interactive, I guess. But that's just because I'm not into building, you know, for lack of a better term, industrial villager breeders. I don't know. It's in the same way that I enjoy manual farming. Why tree? Why? Okay, if I put the thing over here, let's try it again. Yes, they certainly don't stand still. And now that I know I have unlimited ability to build rafts or boats, I should probably actually have some on me if I'm going to breed villagers. Because I have confirmed for sure, A, cherry trees are janky, and B, that my iron farm is very certainly not on chunk borders. So I am actually waiting for the minecarts under the chunks to cause all kinds of problems and disappear. This. Are you going to disappear? Maybe? Kinda? Sorta? Okay, I think I've got all the bits. Let's see. Pause. Yep, you're despawning on your own. Okay, good. I like these pink petals. I actually kind of wish it was like snow that actually would pile up. That would be kind of cool. Alright. The other thing is, like all new trees that Mojang ever adds, if you have petals above them, they don't want to grow. Come on, you. Let's destroy, destroy, destroy. Come on. Quick, quick, quick. So some types of trees, the older ones, if you have leaves above them, there is a point at which you can force them to grow, leaves or no leaves. But every time Mojang adds a new tree, it doesn't. And it's a bug thing that doesn't really get fixed till the next version, or one of the sub-versions. Do this, try this again. No, I think you're gonna eat all of my... Aw, man. Okay, well, given that I just did that, then I'm going to go check on... This is still going, excellent. But we're getting a little bit uncomfortably close to the edge. There we go. I have a bucket of lava. I don't understand why that one's slow, but whatever. This. Okay, that's still going. So then when it runs out, we can keep on going with another batch. Alrighty, well, I have wheat seeds, so let's go and compost some of the other ones. For now, this one and that one. We're good. Alright. I haven't gone and got myself kelp yet. The area that I'm in is just not deep enough to grow it on its own. So I cannot even do my best impression of Joe yelling stupid kelp, as much as I would like to. But it also has reminded me to add the stupid kelp thing to my list of sound clips to borrow. With permission, of course. If she says no, then I won't use it, but it's definitely one of the clips I'd like to borrow. Oh, this is my personal Bedrock. Yes. Good, I'm not showing a logo. Excellent. What are we doing? Testing, testing. Yes, indeed. Did I suddenly get quiet by any chance, Springer Shadow? Just curious. So that one goes ding like I've had a text message from a phone. It's a different ding than what I actually use on my phone because it's more of the default. Okay, are we... Can I use these to get a tree? Please and thank you. Ruddy tree. Alright, guess not. Right, you did mention that. I'm sorry. I do apologize. You think that's a mouthful? You've seen what happens when I try to use FSF's full name. I often do, but you're aware that that's a bit of a mouthful too. Yours, on the other hand, does not actually turn into something inappropriate, so there is that. Okay, let's be judicious about this one because I don't want to ruin the ones that aren't fully grown. Yay! Chunk board. Okay, good. So that part won't be a problem. Just my villagers disappearing. Apparently, if I don't trap them and let them run around, but if I don't trap them and I let them run around, in a farm that's not, I don't know if it's related to chunk-aligned or what, but Stormy suggested that I block them in so that they can't move when I leave the area. So most of them I just leave trapped unless I need another villager. And that seems to help, but when I wasn't doing that, villagers that I'd spent quite a lot of time leveling up to whatever I wanted them to be were suddenly gone, and that was frustrating. So that was what started this whole chasing baby villagers around thing. I was trying to come back here for something or other that I thought I needed from storage, and was trying to pet in little baby villagers so they didn't just go poof and vanish. But not so effective. But yeah, it helps, but it was a bit of a pain. No! Okay, good. Sorry, the double bounce made me wonder if I was going to kill this. Now this is this is the auto-generated one. Every time I run into a village that I'm going to use for any purpose, the first thing I do is I cover over the water, and then second thing I do is I fill in the extras in the row just to make it a little bit more functional. Even when you've got the villagers farming for you, that does help a good bit. I guess I could spend some time filling some holes. Holes! Sorry. I really do need to get that ridiculous sound clip from Doc McStuffins about lawn ornaments with holes, because I keep referring to it and it gets stuck in my head. Okay, let's put a junk chest up here, just so that when I keep picking up things, I can put them somewhere sensible, because I know I'm going to use them. Let's put those. Hello? You not? Thank you. Now I can pick up some more. Excuse me. There we go. Part of it is I'm going to need some of these bits and bobs eventually. And right now, I'm running out of carrots. Yay! Yippee skippy! Zombies despawning when they hadn't before. Interesting. That's actually one of the things I don't like about Minecraft, is, particularly Bedrock, is that you need zombies for some things. Like, it's neat though that for this iron farm, although it's huge and requires a lot of beds and a lot of villagers, you don't need a zombie. I didn't have to go trapping, which was great. I love it. And then in Java, you can make them much, much smaller, but you also don't need to have a zombie. It's nice when you have one, but you don't need to. Pardon me, so I usually try to get a zombie or drowned or whatever. By the way, word to the wise, if you want them quiet, try and get a husk. Excuse me. But if you want them, you know, mid-range, zombies work pretty well. Drowns, noisy, noisy, noisy. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, but I usually like to use the zombies along with some redstone as a speed control. So in both cases, you can't really turn the farm off exactly, but you can speed control it a little bit, because with the zombie scare mechanic, it's faster in Java. But if you don't need it to be fast because maybe you got too much, you know, honestly, Springer, actually, you probably would consider that at some point, because one of the things I found when I turned on my subtitles, just so I knew where everything was coming from in a directional sense, with the little, you know, you've seen the little arrow, or what do they call it? The brackets, the brace thing. True. I don't know if they have, yeah, I guess they don't have the directional things quite the same. But if you have sound subtitles, that they would show up in the bottom right corner where my face cam usually is, and they'll tell you which direction things are with a little arrow on the side, like one of those sort of sideways V type braces. And just being around the noisier mobs, you get a lot of spam, which is their such and such footsteps. Yeah, shush. I don't need that. So you do get a lot of side noise spam in those. I wish Bedrock did. I mean, you would think that as an accessibility feature it would be an option, because it's definitely an accessibility feature when it comes to Java. But in, I'm going to assume Microsoft's infinite wisdom, because they're the ones with the absolutely terrible, terrible built-in subtitles that you would probably be happy to not, or to have them, because yeah, Microsoft's subtitles are awful. Like I mentioned this the other day, I don't actually, but having a parrot, yeah, following you around, and then they make noises that you're not expecting because they've picked up the noise from somewhere else. Ooh, I have a sugarcane. Yeah, they mimic the noises, exactly. And if you're in Java, I don't always recognize whether it's the parrot noise or whether it's the legit noise, so yeah. My kind of luck has been, one of the reasons I don't often go with parrots is actually because my previous luck has been that they mimic the spiders. And they get a kick out of mimicking the spiders frequently. Which I don't have family-friendly words for, let's just put it that way. Yesterday, and I found out, oops, and I came in there for dirt, there was a reason it was there. Yesterday, I had actually redeemed in Dadcraft 73's stream last night. I had redeemed where he presses a button on something on his desk and it tells you a dad joke. So I did that, but then he had been working with a spider spawner just to get some XP. Nothing super exciting in that respect, I mean. But because he'd been working with that and I was actually still playing Minecraft, it was giving me a little bit of heebie-jeebies. And that's, you know, I'm not going to complain about it in a big way. But anyways, it was bugging me a little bit, so I muted the tab and then missed out on the dad joke and had to ask Fantastic Shock Fox why on earth the chat was suddenly talking about shoes. It just seemed very out of place. Couldn't quite figure out where it was coming from. And yeah, it was because of the dad joke. It's like, oh. So I was trying to recover my stuff after getting blown up here, like in this game. So I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he was actually going to do the dad joke thing, so I missed the whole bit with him pressing the button. I just turned back and people were talking randomly about shoes and recycling shoes and rehoming shoes or something, and it was like, I don't get this. And apparently it had something to do with the dad joke. So yeah, a Fantastic Sherlock Fox came in and he just rattled it off like I'd been there, and I had no clue what he was talking about, so I had to tell him that. It's like, yeah, sorry, I wasn't there for that. Try again. Yes, there we go. That's the one. So it wasn't, you know, wasn't a bad thing, but it was just, so I totally get, shouldn't get totally, but I sometimes get that. And I had tried, just on a whim, I had tried the Microsoft settings for,
Hello there.
That they have in Windows 11 at least, for a live, hey Mama Bear, how you doing? I tried the live, what's the word? Captions that Windows has built into it, and I certainly don't recommend it because they're volume centric. As I think I ranted about this the other day, that if you turn the sound down on a tab, even in like I was using their Microsoft Edge browser, so I would have thought this made sense, but anyway, so then you turn the sound down on the tab, there is a point at which the automatic captions stop working. And if you mute the tab, you don't get any captions at all. Which to me seems very counterintuitive. But it's Microsoft, you know, they don't always make sense. Mama Bear's also been in and around mine quite a bit, so that you could have seen them just about anywhere. Because I end up in my Puppy Taylor streams, but I don't know how Mama Bear found me, because I don't tend to hang out in Taylor's streams all that much. Normally I wouldn't have used Edge. I totally get where you're going, Max. I do, just not very well. I know of more than know. It just happens to be there's a lot of collision at that time in terms of who is streaming what. Where is it going to go with this? Oh, so anyway, where I was sort of slowly meandering around to was that the captions were terrible. Oh, edge. There we go. And Max says edge black. I would agree with you. I would not have touched edge with the 10-foot pole. I was all about Chrome for the longest time. However, when Microsoft Edge converted over to being Chromium based and could use virtually all the same plugins that that Chrome can use, then I actually had no problem switching over because... Okay, I guess that tree's no go. I had no problem switching over to Edge because it just worked, you know? Like sometimes things don't, but this one was finally just working and did almost everything I needed out of it that I was using Chrome for. So it's not as evil now as it used to be. I'm still not a fan of the company and stuff, but when people are designing now for websites to work in Edge, then that's great. It just works. But even the vast majority of the time, aside from the complaints from the Google websites, oh, we really should be using Google Chrome, I've had no problems with it. So it's far better than it used to be. Yeah, it's now Chromium based. So you can actually install almost all the same plugins. I mean, frequently Edge will have their own version thereof, but Chrome plugins work. So things. So when you're talking about better TTV and so on like that, they work too. And that's why I've switched over to Edge. The other part I found is my experience since the Chromium switchover has been that Edge has done a lot to improve its ability to reduce resource usage, so that the way the tabs are sleeping when they try to reduce your usages is far more effective than it used to be. What was I doing? Oh, right. Right, I was putting another one of these, knowing that it won't actually grow. Okay, let's go see how the carrots are doing. And maybe take out a couple of pumpkins. Without a fortune tool, those aren't quite ready. Doing pretty good. It's not ideal, but it's doing okay. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this one's only a 7 by 7, which means we're going to get 48 out of it. And I can't do the melons. To tease villagers with. Yeah. So I mean, given that we talked about how every carrot from here, even if you get a stack and whatever, every carrot from here is really only worth 1 food point to the villager. So I want little villagers You know, that's the reality show I would not want to watch in real life. Race to the prize. Oh, but you're stuck with it for at least 18 years. That's not... Yeah. Tree. And I mean, the bonus part, if I'm using it for breeding fodder, I guess you could say, bonus is either you get seeds to grow again, and you still get the product you start with if you use wheat, or, well, the product you're aiming for, or you can you have seeds for bone meal. There we go. Is this it? You the last two pieces? You're right, Springer, that really wasn't fair. Come on, tree. Okay. Gonna plant one, but I know that I can't grow it right now. There's just too many leaves up top. Let's go get that fortune pick. See about... If I'm smart, I'll eventually make a fortune hoe. That would just be sensible, because then I know I won't use it for anything else. But at the moment, picks are where it's at. Like it was distracting. That's okay. Distracting is awesome! Woohoo! Yeah, well, I like watching one. Racing them seems a bit weird. But you're right. I am creepy in that respect, I guess. Okay, I think I made it all the way around with the... What do we have here? Do I have any? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so I made it all the way around. I love the way this renders. So you can see the lovely detail up here. And then, like, two different zones of worse and worse rendering. Love you, Bedrock. So in the middle, just to the left of the scaffolding, you can start to see there's a zone in the middle with a partial. It's like a weird square with a darker square in the middle, and then farther away, a really thick edge with a dark square in the center. Details, details, details. Alright. So where do I put the pick? There's the fortune pick. Put these away since I don't have enough to do much more than tease. Turn those into sticks. Did I put more sticks away somewhere? Thought I put 17 sticks here. Maybe I just kept them. Nope, I put them away. Okay. I should not have brought my my stuff with me. That made no sense. Didn't need to bring the wood. That was dumb. Okay, paper. Paper collection. It's here, there. What was I here for? Oh, right. Right. And apparently I need a nap. The other thing about not having too many villagers yet is all of these guys are very happily hooked up on a bed up top, so if I do that, this causes me a problem, but not them. Okay, good stick guy. Okay. Here, 3 more. Gimme. That's it? Okay. So, let's see. Diamond pick, unbreaking fortune. What have we got in here? Diamond hoe. Great. Unbreaking. Sharpness 2. Not bad if I put those two together. Another hoe. Efficiency 3. And unbreaking 1. Okay. So, that's not bad. What do you got over here? Axes. Ew. Bane 1. No, not so helpful. 5% efficiency. Ooh. But I need 28 for that. And neither of those is fortune. Okay. Fortune pick it is, I guess. But while I'm here, No. Take this and that. I brought the iron for a reason. Let's trade this off. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Okay, that's great. And what else have we got? 2. Can we put 2 back? Not in my world. Distraction City. Alright. You gonna be inexpensive? Yes. So this is the sort of reason why it takes a little while sometimes, but this is the sort of reason why I don't bother with the zombify and cure business. It's because once you've got an iron farm that's decently producing, then my response really becomes, why bother with worrying about extra books and stuff? Or extra cheap pricing. You just end up with things like a beacon base that's all out of emerald. Not that I'm actually gonna have a beacon in this world, though. That'll be that'll be the day. As I said, the world's for learning, but there are limits. Okay, that should be that. I'm gonna need the rail over here, so I'm just gonna leave it. I have a couple of slots. Oops, I'm gonna need the sticks over here. Let's just leave those. Sure. Glasses for over here, but I don't need that. There. I think that's everything. Okay, so is there anything I can take back? Mangrove propagules, probably, so we can actually grow them. And that's about it. Yes. No, I get it, I get it. It's not nearly as creepy when you put it that way. I did rock that boat, yes, for sure. Silk Touch, you're not quite there, but that's okay. Oh. Good thing I have lots of emeralds, okay. So Silk Touch on one... I'm gonna want the Silk Touch axe eventually. But I also realized I need one that's not. This one? Sharpness, no, that's not it. This guy? Yes. That one. Let's add another one so that I can have a nice axe, as opposed to one that's just functional. So this and that. 13. What? What? Rip off. I don't think I can do it. Yep, certainly not happening. Therefore... Hey, buddy. You're not unlocked yet. Okay. Because I haven't given you enough trash. Alright, well, I guess that's that for now. Let's put one of these over there. So we've got this and that, 13. This one and this one is 25. Basically, my easy rule of thumb in this particular scenario that works well is the one that's got more enchantments already on it is the one that goes first, and then the one that doesn't goes second. Which, it might have been stupid that I put Silk Touch on here already, but that'll allow me to get the melons. And then for now, I'll just use this guy, which I put it down there. for anything where I don't want the leaves to get picked up. And we can combine them later. What time is it? Oh, we're midday, that's fine. Looks dark, so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna get a rainstorm through here. One thing I don't like about Bedrock is it rains like crazy. Okay. First off, I just realized I'm dumb given the risk to be carrying around emeralds and books. That's not a wise choice. I also don't need to be carrying around a couple of pieces of iron. Just about everything here. And then as soon as I get back to the other side, first thing I'm going to do is put away the mangroves because, excuse me, because the mangrove ones are much bigger pain in the neck if I lose all of them to, you know, getting blown up or something. They're a much bigger pain in the neck. Yeah, sometimes the price lowers, but usually if you've got that. The other thing is, I would still recommend swapping them around. I will admit, I do use websites for enchanting stuff sometimes, just to find out what's cheaper, particularly in the early game. So there's actually a chance it could have been cheaper had I not put mending on, Silk Touch on my axe first. There is a very distinct possibility of that. Okay, so we're back. I could have sworn I had taken that out. Interesting. Because as you guys saw, I don't tend to plant until that other part's gone. Well, now I know. Free, you gypped me. You gypped me. Time is of essence. Alright. There we go. Didn't that have dropped straight down? Maybe I did pick it up? I don't know. Is this going to despawn? No. So what is hiding around in here? Oh, it's self-despawning now. Okay, we're good. Alright, so as I said, I need to put the proper gills away because just about everything else I can replace at the moment. If everything else went south, that's the one that's bad to get again. And I know I left the roots on the other side, but I'm okay with that. Cherry can go here. I need to expand this building big time. Definitely need a lot more space, but I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can so that we can actually get a proper build and just do a storage space in there as opposed to building, you know, 3 or 4 times for less reason. Okay, so I have bone meal now. Sort of. Yep, I have a lot of bone meal now. Which means that in theory, once these start despawning properly, then I can go at it for another round. Okay, that's annoying. It didn't make any sense. Not that Springer would necessarily have a problem with it, but it didn't make any sound when I picked up items. That's what was confusing me, is there's stuff that gets picked up that it doesn't make any noise at all. You heard me catch it? Awesome, good. It could be just maybe that I mentally tuned it out because of some sort of sound I heard in the music. That's a possibility as well. Alright, so I've got 1 bucket handy. 1's been dumped through here. We're getting the glass, that's good news. Where are we on this one? That's not bad. So, take another run through here. Do I have anything? Perfect. I would love to speed this up, but as you can see, it's not exactly happening. If I have thorns 3 on one piece of armor, is there any point in putting thorns 3 on another piece? I would say no, unless you intend to be switching things out. So for example, if you have, say, thorns on your pants, and then if you're going, and then you decide, well, I'm going into the nether, then, and you need to switch your pants to gold, then in that case, you probably would want thorns on something else, you know. So it's just really a matter of figuring out what it is. So if you decide that you want thorns forever and a day, then I wouldn't bother with it on the chest plate, at least not as your primary piece, because eventually the hope is you'll have elytra, in which case any of the enchantments that were on your chest plate piece are now kind of useless to you when you're wearing your elytra. That's my take on it. I mean, different people may have a different view, but that's where I like to sit for that. Yeah, if you're okay with taking on the piglins, sure. I just find when that for myself, the reason I bother switching to a gold piece when I go to the nether, as my example, oh, it's the other buildings. The reason I switch is more that if that's not what I'm there for, like encountering piglins and dealing with piglins isn't what I'm there for, then I find them more of a hassle than a help. So it's not even the hindrance versus not hindrance thing. Sometimes I've had situations where I was particularly intending to go after the hoglins, and then I've been interrupted by piglins, which doesn't sound like a big deal. It's just that they were outside the range of deciding to hunt the hoglins until they got within range and decided to hunt me. And that just became inconvenient. Because then I had to go find more hoglins. Alright. Let's see if we can get this to not just hang out and stay there forever. Your Minecraft family despair at you. Trust me. People can play how they want, wherever they want, whenever they want. Some play fast, some play slow, some... Wow, that's starting to sound like an old song. But the idea is just that everybody does things differently. If you don't switch out, you don't switch out. That's okay. There's no armor trading police. I find I like them for crowd control purposes. I like switching armor for crowd control purposes. So, for example, in the nether, if I do think I'm going to go after the piglins, I only want to handle a few piglins at a time. So if there's some that are far enough away from the signal to come help out when I attack somebody, then I'm just going to be happy with the gold, so that if I choose to run, I don't end up with a mass train as I go by. That's just me being a chicken, you know? Everybody plays differently. Yeah, because you forget. Well, that's true. That's one I do a lot. I mean, I forgot. I switched my hat out of my gold hat that I was wearing. Gotcha. Thank you very much for the 5-minute warning. My turnaround, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, is please peel your eyes and see what you can see. And that makes the choice to raid out a little bit quicker. Oh, well, that's inconvenient. Alrighty, well. I don't want any surprises, and I'm not going to use this house, so let's just block it up. That's the... I'm forgetting to change. I come back out of the nether. We logged out, and then I didn't bother changing my hat and didn't think about it. I can't remember what I was doing. Something else entirely. Oh, yeah. I went to log in and get all ready for another stream, and I did the F5 thing so you guys could see me, and I'm like, oh, I'm wearing a gold hat. Oopsie daisy. You know, that sort of thing. Oops. Hey. Alright. Yes, exactly. Well, that's why I want to push the top of the hour, is some of them are like me. in that they're a little smidgy past because everybody's watches are slightly different. This being Wednesday, I will be back this evening. Not sure yet what I will do, whether it will be more of the same or whether it will be something different, as in whether or not we'll be in Java, or if I'll have a different plan. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I'm going to discuss that with the opinion crew at lunch and see what they have to say. So probably Fantastic Sherlock Fox, and try and solicit Bedrock. Try and solicit opinions from my kids to say, if you were watching something, which they probably won't be because they're too young, if you were watching something, what would you rather watch? Because, yeah, we've got a lot. My opinion crew, yes. Well, it's the crew that I ask their opinion, right? And sometimes they go, I don't know, or I don't care, because they're just that perfect age for that. So, in all honesty, it's more sounding board, I guess, than anything else. They don't tell me to shut up. How's that? That's probably the more effective and more accurate answer. One thing Mojang has definitely done with this tree type is with the way the bark is dark. When you get a cluster, like right up in here, past this first block, I could easily see potentially that next piece being a piece of wood. But then you pop one of the leaves and it's not. So it's kind of like they're teasing you. They're messing with your head. See, I can see there is a wood piece over there. Yep. And the other one that's on the opinion crew, well, I mean, is frequently you guys. Hence the existence of Discord, even though it's quiet. Because I got important answers when I need them. And hello, Zero, by the way. I missed seeing you pop in. So we've got Fantastic Sherlock Fox, who unfortunately gets bombarded with a lot of this stuff because he was there, so he knows more of the story, kind of thing. And then there's the kids. Because my kids are pretty discerning and pretty picky, not necessarily in little kid kind of ways. They're both advanced for their age. I know that sounds kind of boastful to say it, and it's not the intent. But when I want their opinion on what might make half-decent, somewhat engaging content, they kind of go, well, you know, the whatever it was you said you wanted to do, yeah, I wouldn't watch that. Cool. Well, if you wouldn't watch it, then I shouldn't bother making it. You know? So that's how it rolls. Alright, so we've got 1 bucket of danger juice. I'll put that up here. We're getting some glass, so if I could actually start putting the glass in the other side. That's a possibility. I'd love to get close to having that project quote-unquote done, and I just did air quotes there, forgetting you guys can't see me. Okay, let's put this one out. Danger juice, yes. Yeah, some people call it, I've heard people call it spicy orange juice, which I thought was kind of interesting. Or, once, and only once, I don't know why this person was trying to coin a new term, but I heard somebody call it collected hot tub leak, which I just figured was far too much of a mouthful. And I'm pretty sure that won't stick. Yeah, for me it's danger juice. You don't want to drink it, even though it looks like a milk bucket, and you don't want to play in it because it'll burn your butt. You know, it's just, yeah. Danger juice. And half the time it never becomes what you want it to. This is gonna sound weird, but squirrel for just a split second. I know it's the top of the hour. I have to plug this particular hole. There's been about 3 or 4 times since I commented on stream yesterday. 3 or 4 times that has swallowed up a baby pig or a sheep or a horse or something. You just barely see the top of their head sticking out, and I'm over in the village doing something, and I'm like, what the heck is that? The problem with coming over to see what it is that a couple of times I've had a danger fork dude pop up and try to get me. So, yeah. Skin preservation. Too high, too tall grasses, weeds. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna log out here, find somebody, actually maybe let's sleep away the night first, find somebody to raid, and give people a bit of a break. Spend a little bit of time with the fam, maybe eat something, maybe go dig in the garden. Yeah, win-win-win. Of course. See? Opinion crew! You just made it. All right. So we've got the glass underway for the farm. We've got some more of the cherry logs going, so we're getting a good start for the supplies for the mansion. There will be an awful lot to do. I should really do the math and see whether or not I'm far enough away from the farm that I can't break it by putting down a bed. And then once I've narrowed that down, then I can... Why am I moving so slow? I don't know. And I'm also running around like you can still see me. That's not great. There we go. So we've got the glass going. We've got the lava slowly dripping its way out. We've got the farm that could use more glass. And we've got trees coming along slowly. So there's projects to do, which probably will be where I'm going to end up tonight. That's my bet. Unless the Java gets really interesting in the middle. No, that's fine, Zero. You're welcome to stop by anytime you want. You're welcome to lurk. XP Mob Farm will definitely be coming. I'm just trying to decide where I want to put it. It's going to be one of those classic flushing ones, just because that's what I'm comfortable with, and it makes what I need. But I'll probably also put another rail run around the outside of the berries on the other side, just so that it can pick up more of the drops that come out of that. So yeah, maybe the farm will go in this direction over the water, or it might go off the water at the back towards the jungle. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm familiar with. That's what we're going to go with. So we're going to quickly find somebody else. And thank you very much to ITT Tom for the raid today. I really do appreciate it. So let's switch out this way. And see who we can find that is hopefully doing something in the vein of what we do. Which says a lot. Oh, well, Nutty wouldn't be one. Okay. Let's refresh that screen. All right. You know what? I think we're gonna go and drop in on the Ricky Roy. So he's it says it's update and dragon fight day on Rocktropolis number 8, whatever that means. But who can turn their back on a dragon fight, right? That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, so we're headed over there. Let me just get that started up. There we go.
Mischief managed.
All right, so special thank you very much to Fantastic Shock Fox for gifting a subscription today. Also, thank you very much to ITT Tom for the raid. You really did make my morning. And then special thanks as well to Fantastic Shock Fox and Springer for dropping some channel points to get things a little bit going in here. To ITT Tom and Max as our special VIPs, as well as Yellow Tis for Truth, Springer, Huge Stormy Owl, Minneapolis Mel, Bob at Big Hairy GM, and Mama Bear 65 and Zeroed, all for dropping in. If you did not have your name read out, just want to say thank you so much for coming by and hanging with us. I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you approximately 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. So have yourselves a great day, and until then, bye-bye for now.